The smell is so thick and overwhelming that it physically burns the predator's nasal passages. It disorientates them. It forces them to gag, back away, and drop the badger immediately. Because honestly, nobody wants to eat that. So they smell terrible, they fight forever, and they have rubber skin. But to fight a fully grown lion head-on, you'd have to be willing to take a massive amount of physical damage. You're not fighting a lion without getting hurt. How does a 30-pound animal even handle that level of pain? Well, look at what a honey badger is. Honey badgers love to eat bee larvae, but to get bee larvae, you have to break into a wild African beehive. African bees are notoriously aggressive. If you disturb their hive, they'll swarm by the tens of thousands and attack whatever's threatening them. For most animals, getting stung by thousands of bees is a lethal event. The venom causes severe swelling, anaphylactic shock, and death. When a honey badger finds a beehive, it just walks straight up to it and starts ripping it apart with its claws. The bees will swarm the badger. They'll sting its face, they'll sting its nose, they'll sting its eyelids. And the honey badger just keeps eating. They're completely unfazed. Their thick skin protects their body, but their face is still taking thousands of direct venomous injections. They'll sit there for 20 minutes, getting absolutely tortured by bees just to eat a few handfuls of larvae. This shows a level of pain tolerance that's just completely unhinged. If they're willing to casually endure thousands of bee stings to the face just for a light snack, then a lion swatting them with a paw is barely going to register in their brain as a reason to give up. They simply don't process pain as a deterrent. But if they're willing to endure literal torture just for a snack, what do they do when they're actually hungry for a real meal? Honey badgers actively seek out the most dangerous animals on the entire African continent. A massive portion of their diet consists of highly venomous snakes. They'll actively hunt down puff adders, black mambas, and cape cobras. These are snakes that possess enough neurotoxic venom to drop a full-grown human in a matter of hours. Most animals, even apex predators, will sprint in the opposite direction if they hear a cobra hiss. The risk of death is just too high. But when a honey badger sees a cobra, they'll walk right up to it and just start trying to bite its head off. The snake is striking, wrapping around the badger, and trying to inject its venom, while the badger is just relentlessly chewing on the snake's spine. But realistically, this shouldn't even be possible. You can have all the attitude and thick skin in the world, but if a cobra actually lands a bite and pumps neurotoxin into your bloodstream, your organs shut down and you die. So how are they surviving this? When a honey badger fights a cobra, it almost always gets bitten. They aren't fast enough to dodge every single strike, so the cobra sinks its fangs into the badger's face and injects a lethal dose of venom. The honey badger simply ignores it, finishes killing the snake, and starts eating it. After a few minutes, the venom starts to circulate through the badger's bloodstream. The badger will suddenly collapse mid-meal. It falls completely unconscious, lying flat on its back in the dirt. To any observer, the badger is dead. Game over. But about 2 hours later, the badger's foot will start to twitch. Then it will roll over, then it will stand up, shake the dirt off its fur, walk right back over to the half-eaten snake, and finish its lunch. Like it just woke up from a really aggressive nap. This is because the honey badger's DNA has physically mutated